Have you ever had one of those days where everything just feels a little heavier? Maybe you woke up with a bit of an ache, or the news on TV left you feeling a little down. It happens to all of us, especially as we get older. Life has a way of throwing curveballs, and sometimes it can feel like those curveballs come more often than they used to. But here's the thing. No matter what's going on around us, we have the power to choose how we respond. And that's what we're going to talk about today. How to stay positive, even when life gets tough. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Stay positive. That sounds easier said than done. And you're absolutely right. Staying positive doesn't mean ignoring the challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about finding ways to focus on the good, even when the bad tries to take over. It's about building habits and mindsets that help us navigate life with a little more joy and a little less stress. And trust me, it's not just about feeling better emotionally. Staying positive can have real benefits for your health, your relationships, and your overall quality of life. So, in this video, we're going to explore some practical, actionable ways to cultivate positivity in your everyday life. We'll talk about how to shift your mindset, how to find joy in the small moments, and how to build habits that help you stay resilient, no matter what life throws your way. Whether you're dealing with health challenges, feeling a little lonely, or just want to bring more light into your days, these tips are for you. Let's start with the first point, the power of gratitude. Now, I know gratitude might sound like one of those buzzwords you hear all the time, but there's a reason it's so popular. It works. When we take the time to focus on what we're grateful for, it shifts our perspective. Instead of dwelling on what's going wrong, we start to notice what's going right. And the best part, you don't need to wait for something big to happen to feel grateful. It's often the small, everyday things that make the biggest difference. For example, maybe you're grateful for the cup of coffee you had this morning, or the way the sunlight streams through your window in the afternoon. Maybe it's the phone call from a friend, or the fact that you woke up feeling a little better than you did yesterday. Whatever it is, take a moment to acknowledge it. One simple way to practice gratitude is to keep a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big or profound, just things that brought you a little joy or comfort. Over time, you'll start to notice that your focus shifts. You'll find yourself looking for the good, even on the tough days. Now, let's move on to the second point, the importance of staying connected. As we get older, it's easy to feel isolated, especially if you've retired, lost a loved one, or aren't as mobile as you used to be. But staying connected to others is one of the most powerful ways to stay positive. Humans are social creatures, and we thrive when we feel a sense of belonging. So, how do you stay connected? It doesn't have to be complicated. Maybe it's reaching out to a friend or family member for a chat, or joining a local club or group where you can meet new people who share your interests. If getting out isn't easy, technology can be a great tool. Video calls, social media, or even online communities can help you stay in touch with loved ones or connect with people who share your passions. The key is to make connection a priority. Even small interactions can make a big difference in how you feel. And finally, let's talk about the third point, finding purpose. One of the biggest challenges many of us face as we age is feeling like we've lost our sense of purpose. Maybe the kids have moved out, or you're no longer working, and you're wondering, what's next for me? But here's the thing. Purpose doesn't have to come from a job or a title. It can come from anything that gives you a sense of meaning and fulfillment. Maybe it's volunteering for a cause you care about, or mentoring someone who could benefit from your wisdom and experience. Maybe it's picking up a new hobby or revisiting an old one. Or maybe it's simply being there for your family and friends, offering your love and support. The key is to find something that makes you feel like you're contributing, like you're making a difference, no matter how small. So, to recap, we've talked about the power of gratitude, the importance of staying connected, and the value of finding purpose. These are just the first steps, but they're powerful ones. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into how to reframe negative thoughts, how to take care of your physical health to support your mental well-being, and how to create a daily routine that fosters positivity. But for now, I want to leave you with this thought. Staying positive isn't about ignoring the hard stuff. It's about choosing to focus on the good, even when the bad is right there in front of you. It's about finding joy in the small moments and building habits that help you stay resilient. And most importantly, it's about knowing that you have the power to shape your outlook, no matter what life throws your way. So, take a moment to think about one thing you're grateful for today, or reach out to someone you care about and let them know you're thinking of them. These small actions can make a big difference. And remember, this is just the beginning. Let's keep this conversation going and explore even more ways to stay positive together. Now that we've talked about gratitude, staying connected, and finding purpose, let's dive a little deeper into how we can cultivate a positive mindset, even when life feels challenging. Because here's the truth. Staying positive isn't just about what we do. It's also about how we think. Our thoughts have a powerful impact on our emotions, and sometimes it's our own inner dialogue that holds us back. But the good news is, we can learn to reframe those thoughts and create a more positive outlook. Let's start with the idea of reframing. Reframing is simply about looking at a situation from a different perspective. For example, let's say you're feeling frustrated because you can't do something the way you used to. Maybe it's harder to get around, or you're not as quick as you once were. It's easy to focus on what you've lost, but what if you shifted your focus to what you still have? Maybe you've gained wisdom and experience over the years. Maybe you've learned to appreciate the little things in a way you didn't before. Reframing isn't about denying the challenges. It's about finding the silver linings. Here's a practical way to practice reframing. The next time you catch yourself thinking something negative, pause and ask yourself, is there another way to look at this? For example, if you're thinking, I'm too old to learn something new, try reframing it to, I have so much life experience to bring to this new challenge. It might feel a little awkward at first, but over time, it becomes a habit, and that habit can make a world of difference in how you feel. Now, let's talk about the connection between physical health and mental well-being. It's no secret that our bodies and minds are deeply connected. When we take care of our physical health, it has a ripple effect on our mood and outlook. And the reverse is true, too. When we're feeling down, it can be harder to muster the energy to take care of ourselves. But even small steps can make a big difference. For example, let's talk about movement. You don't need to run a marathon or hit the gym for hours to reap the benefits of exercise. Even a short walk around the block, some gentle stretching, or a few minutes of dancing to your favorite song can boost your mood and energy levels. The key is to find something you enjoy and make it a regular part of your routine. And don't forget about the power of fresh air and sunlight. Spending time outdoors, even if it's just sitting on a bench in the park, can do wonders for your mental health. Another important aspect of physical health is sleep. As we get older, sleep can become more elusive, but it's so important for our overall well-being. If you're struggling with sleep, try creating a calming bedtime routine. Maybe it's reading a book, listening to soothing music, or doing a few minutes of deep breathing. And if you're still having trouble, don't hesitate to talk to your doctor. Sometimes, small changes can make a big difference. Now, let's move on to the idea of creating a daily routine that fosters positivity. Routines can be incredibly grounding, especially when life feels uncertain. They give us a sense of structure and predictability, which can be comforting. But here's the key. Your routine should be filled with things that bring you joy and fulfillment. Start by thinking about what makes you feel good. Maybe it's starting your day with a cup of tea and a few minutes of quiet reflection. Or maybe it's spending time in your garden, listening to your favorite podcast, or working on a creative project. Whatever it is, make it a priority. And don't forget to include moments of connection, whether it's a phone call with a friend or a visit with a neighbor. Another important part of your routine should be setting aside time for self-care. This doesn't have to be anything elaborate. It could be as simple as taking a warm bath, practicing a hobby you love, or even just sitting quietly and breathing deeply. The important thing is to make it a regular part of your day. When you take care of yourself, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges and stay positive. So, to recap, we've talked about reframing negative thoughts, taking care of your physical health, and creating a daily routine that fosters positivity. These are all powerful tools, but we're not done yet. In the next part, we'll explore how to handle setbacks, how to cultivate resilience, and how to find joy in the present moment. But for now, I want to leave you with this thought. Staying positive is a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep moving forward, one small step at a time. So, take a moment to think about one small change you can make today to support your mental and physical well-being. Maybe it's reframing a negative thought, going for a short walk, or adding something you love to your daily routine. Every step counts, and every step brings you closer to a more positive, fulfilling life. Let's keep this conversation going, because together, we can find ways to stay positive, no matter what life throws our way. As we come to the final part of our conversation about staying positive, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've covered so far. We've talked about the power of gratitude, the importance of staying connected, and the value of finding purpose. We've explored how to reframe negative thoughts, take care of our physical health, and create daily routines that foster positivity. Now, let's focus on how to handle setbacks, cultivate resilience, and find joy in the present moment, because these are the tools that will help us stay positive, even when life gets tough. Let's start with setbacks. No matter how positive our mindset or how strong our habits, life will always have its challenges. Maybe it's a health issue, a loss, or just a day where nothing seems to go right. Setbacks are inevitable, but they don't have to define us. The key is to approach them with compassion and resilience. One way to handle setbacks is to practice self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on ourselves when things don't go as planned, but that only makes it harder to bounce back. Instead, try treating yourself the way you would treat a dear friend. If they were going through a tough time, you wouldn't criticize them or tell them to just get over it. You'd offer kindness, understanding, and support. Do the same for yourself. Remind yourself that it's okay to struggle, and that setbacks don't mean you failed. They're just part of the journey. Another important aspect of handling setbacks is to focus on what you can control. When life feels overwhelming, it's easy to get caught up in all the things you can't change. But even in the toughest situations, there are usually small things you can do to make a difference. Maybe it's reaching out for support, taking one small step toward a solution, or simply giving yourself permission to rest and recharge. By focusing on what's within your control, you can regain a sense of agency and hope. Now, let's talk about resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from challenges, and it's something we can all cultivate, no matter our age. One of the best ways to build resilience is to focus on your strengths. Think about the challenges you've overcome in the past. What helped you get through them? Maybe it was your sense of humor, your determination, or the support of loved ones. Whatever it was, those strengths are still within you. Remind yourself of them often, and draw on them when you need them most. Another way to build resilience is to practice flexibility. Life rarely goes exactly as planned, and the more we can adapt to change, the better we'll be able to handle whatever comes our way. This doesn't mean giving up on your goals or values. It just means being open to different paths and possibilities. For example, if you're dealing with a physical limitation, maybe you can't do everything you used to, but you can find new ways to stay active and engaged. Flexibility allows us to keep moving forward, even when the road takes an unexpected turn. Finally, let's talk about finding joy in the present moment. It's easy to get caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past, but true positivity comes from being fully present in the here and now. One way to cultivate this is through mindfulness, the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. Mindfulness doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths and noticing how your body feels, or savoring the taste of your morning coffee. It's about slowing down and really experiencing the small moments that make up your day. When you practice mindfulness, you'll start to notice that there's beauty and joy all around you, even in the most ordinary moments. Another way to find joy in the present is to embrace curiosity and playfulness. As we get older, it's easy to fall into routines and habits, but there's so much joy to be found in trying new things and approaching life with a sense of wonder. Maybe it's learning a new skill, exploring a new place, or simply approaching a familiar activity with a fresh perspective. When we allow ourselves to be curious and playful, we open ourselves up to new experiences and new sources of joy. So, to recap, we've talked about handling setbacks with self-compassion, building resilience by focusing on our strengths and practicing flexibility, and finding joy in the present moment through mindfulness and curiosity. These are all powerful tools for staying positive, no matter what life throws your way. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Staying positive isn't about being happy all the time. It's about finding light in the darkness, strength in the struggle, and joy in the journey. It's about knowing that even on the toughest days, there's always something to be grateful for, something to look forward to, and something to cherish. So, take a moment to think about one small step you can take today to bring more positivity into your life. Maybe it's practicing gratitude, reaching out to a loved one, or simply taking a few deep breaths and being present. Whatever it is, know that you have the power to shape your outlook and create a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tips and inspiration. And I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing that helps you stay positive? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Here's to living your best life, one positive moment at a time. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.